sound spiral panner number 2. It's developed a little bit, and we've still got our 48 virtual speakers, and just for the sake of this demo we've got 8 sound sources. We can still move the sounds around, but now we can also pick up the speakers and move them. And when this is released as a plugin, it will mean that any surround rig up to 64 speakers can be created on this stage and mixed too. It doesn't just limit this setup to working with the sound spiral. It could be stereo, it could be 5.1, it could be 8 channels, it could be 64 channels. Any configuration we can put into here we can save and retrieve, so we've effectively got a flexible multi-channel panning system in the works. Further to last time, we've now got a couple of editors over here. Primarily what this allows us to do is to take our first 4 channels, just as an example, and position them in space as if this was dropping, say, a quadraphonic mix onto the sound spiral. I can now grab one of these larger nodes, which is a group, and I can plonk the 4 channels into this group. I don't know if you can see this on this video or not, but they've now got red outlines to go with the red outline of the group, and it means that when I move the group, the sources move across the rig with the group handle. This is functionally the equivalent of taking a quadraphonic mix and moving it across the entire rig from one handle. On top of that, just to be fun, we can then rotate those sources around the centre of the group. So I'll just put that over there and take you through that again. We can take our sources, position them in space, and then assign a group to them and move the group as a whole across the space. This doesn't just have to be 4, it could be 2, like I say, it could be 64. So just to show you also how the groups are kind of virtualized, I can take another group and assign just 2 of the channels of this previous group, and now the outline takes on both colours. So these 2 sources are assigned to both the blue and the green group. So if I move just the green marker, it only moves those 2, and if I move the blue marker, it moves all 4 of them. So we can get up to some real mischief now by moving a rotation around the green point whilst everything else moves together. It's all a bit silly, but there we go. We have this extended grouping functionality now, taking that group away. So to get back to where we were, we've just got these 4 speakers now within this group. I can move the centre of the group independently of the speakers, or I can move the group and the sources together. So I'm going to now just disable this group from rotating as well, unlink its members, and move the groups away because we don't need them for the next bit, which is to show you what we can do when we add in a customised USB keyboard. Well, I say customised. This is what it started out as, a regular keyboard, and if you turn it upside down, we have the magical Dasbury keyboard. All this allows us to do is to, using its buttons, pick up a source and move it relative to the full width of the desktop, which is great because when we're using a tablet controller, the tablet surface will have on it marked tactile pointers, so then Amy will be able to hit the button to pick up a sound and use one hand to know where the speaker positions are on the tablet, and the other hand to position the sounds across the tablet relative to those speaker positions. Just grab and drag and then drop. Grab a channel, drag it, and then drop it. Same as using with the mouse, but a bit more fluid. Eventually I'll add the group function to that, so again using the keyboard we'll be able to drag a group about, but at the moment it's just moving the channels. Get that out of the way. I've got no here's one I made earlier demo to show you yet, but we'll get there in due course, I'm sure. So I can change the number of speakers, move them about, even change the number of sources. I always get confused between speakers and sources. This is changing the number of speakers, so there's only one speaker now, up to 48 we're using in the sound spiral, and I can change the number of sources, so we've got lots to play with. So we're slowly getting there. A few more modifications, a wave shaper on each of the speakers to change its response, and MIDI input, and this thing's going to be pretty much at its version 1 ready to use in the space. There'll be a download available at that stage as well. More later.